Hello all, I'm Mithun and welcome back to a brand new video in the Getting Started with AI playlist. In the previous video, we saw how to work with OpenAI in JavaScript, right? So we built two applications there as well. In this video, so let's explore how to work with OpenAI and build a AI chatbot in two ways using Python. So we'll start with this video by getting the OpenAI API keys, and then let's learn about OpenAI SDK. So build a Python application so where we will run a chatbot using OpenAI SDK, and let's build a chatbot using LangChain as well. Okay, so this is what is scheduled in this video. Okay, so I have my favorite code editor open here. Okay, so first thing whenever you're working with Python to do is to set up a virtual environment, right? So all of the packages, dependencies, everything remains in the virtual environment. Let's create. So I would just say Python 3. I'm going to use Python 3 minus m venv. I'm going to use venv virtual environment package. Okay, again, so this is what is the way to do in Mac. For Windows, you can just refer any of the documentation on how to create a virtual environment. Okay, so I have the virtual environment created. Let me activate it. I will just say source venv bin slash activate. Okay, so with this, my venv virtual environment is active. Great. So first, let's get the API key. So to get the API key, it is very much simple. Let me get started. I'm going to just say OpenAI API. Okay. So in the first link you see, right, platform.openai.com. So this is the link you should go, and here in the dashboard section again. So you need to log in, use the same ChatGPT account. Okay. So here in the dashboard you can see create section. Go to the manage section, and in the usage you can see your monthly budget. So that is, you will be getting $5 of the budget for every month, and it gets renewed every month, so no need to worry there. Okay, so go to API keys. So I have an API key, so let me delete this and generate the new one. Okay, so let me create a new secret. I'm going to just say recording Python. Okay, great. With this, our secret is ready. Okay, and where do we store the secrets? We need to store this in env files, right? I'm going to just say .env, and I'm going to say export OpenAI API key. Okay, and then just paste this. Okay, so this is where I have set up my API keys. I have generated it and I have stored it in my environment variables. Great. So now that we have this, we can use it and build the application. So first we are going to use the OpenAI SDK way. Okay. And then we are going to use the LangChain way. So I'm going to create a file OpenAI SDK.py. Great. Again, so we are using SDKs. Whenever you're working with SDKs, libraries, frameworks, don't memorize the code because they might change in future. So the best way is to go and get it from the documentation. So go to the same platform.openai.com, go to docs. Again, here you can see this is the OpenAI developer platform, and here you have the code, but it is presently in JavaScript. You can move it to Python. Okay, so see, it is importing a package, creating a client out of it, and invoking the model. Okay, so with the input. Great. So before that, in order to access this env variables, we need a library called as .env, and then we need OpenAI library as well, right? So let's install that. I'm going to say pip install OpenAI and .env. Okay, so this will install all of the dependencies, and at the top level we need to import the .env. So I'm going to just say from .env import load.env. This is a method which we need to use to load the .env method things. Okay, and just say load.env. With this, so our program has the access to the environment variables. Now it is very much simple. Just copy paste this, and here when you paste it, let's change the input to a simple input like hi. Okay, great. Now if you run this, okay, I will just say Python 3 OpenAI SDK.py. So if you run this, So it should not run ideally. Okay, so it will give you an error. Okay, so it gives you an error telling that, okay, so let me just see the error. Incorrect API key provided. Okay, so this happens sometimes. So whenever you get this right, so it is just regenerate the API key. Okay, so glad that we got this. Okay, so just revoke this key and create a new key. Okay, recording Python. Okay, whenever you get this error. Okay, so this is nothing from our side, but yeah, so this is an error from the OpenAI side itself. So you can use the key IA, or else, yeah, IA. Great. Now if you run this, okay, again, so this should give you an error, but a different error. See, so you will get an error called as you exceeded your current quota. Please check the billing details. So many of the students will get demotivated here. They will think like, hey, my quota is lapsed, so maybe I should pay. I should set up my billing. And whenever it comes to billing, so there is a risk factor, and many of them don't move ahead. But let me tell you, you need not to pay anything. So you are getting this quota exceeded issue because you are using latest model. Okay, whenever you talk about OpenAI, right, if you go to their docs, you can see there are a lot of models. Okay, see, real-time models, open weight models, specialized models, there are a lot of models, and each come with their own capabilities, and the higher the capability of the model, so the more uh, you need to pay. So since GPT-5 being the latest one, so it expects you to have a larger quota, but we only have $5, right? So let's downgrade this because we are just experimenting with it, right? So if you use models something like 4o mini, which is a decent model and a mini model, so it comes in our free tier. Now if you run this, you will be getting the response. See, hello, how can I assist you today? The idea is to use it, start using it. Okay, so you can work with lower models, and if you want, if your company is providing you, or you are starting your own startup and buying the uh, OpenAI subscriptions, then you can just upgrade it by just changing the model name to GPT-5. So to get started, these models are very much helpful. Okay, so this is how you create a chatbot. Okay, again, now you can give some complex queries, whatever it is, just look into the quota and then you can chat with it. Great, so this is one way, so where we are using the software development kit provided by OpenAI. So this is what is the OpenAI developer platform, and with this you can only work with OpenAI. Now on top of this, there are a lot of problems with these approaches. Okay, so one of the problem is that, like, let's say every LLM provider like OpenAI, Gemini, Grok will be launching their own LLMs, and like assume you are working in an enterprise scenario where you need to move to different models without any much effort. Okay, like let's say if you're moving from OpenAI to Gemini, you should replace your whole code, whole approach. So that is where libraries like LangChain or frameworks like LangChain comes. They give you a centralized, unified syntax. Irrespective of what model you are using, you need not to do a lot of configurations. With minimal configurations, you can do it. So that's what is the Lang part. You can work with multiple LLMs, large language modules, and you can chain them with a lot of tools. Okay, so this is what LangChain is. Again, so this video is not about LangChain. We'll take it up further. But using LangChain, you could invoke APIs in a very simpler format as well. Okay, so to do that, just say LangChain. Okay, again, LangChain supports JavaScript as well, which we have seen in the previous video. But here, let's look into the Python approach. So if you go to the LangChain landing page and docs. Okay, like let me just say LangChain docs. So here you can see LangChain is a framework for developing applications powered by large language models. So no need to worry, but yeah, so if you're someone who is interested, you can just go ahead. Now if you scroll down, you can select the chat model. Now I'm going to use OpenAI, right? So you need to just install this package. So let's install this. Okay. Great. Meanwhile, I'll create a new file as well. OpenAI, then LangChain LangChain.py. Great. So again, we need API key here. So let's copy paste the loading of the env files. Great. And now uh, you need not to use this get pass everything. So this is getting it is just will get from your terminal. We don't need this. We just need this. So let's copy paste this. Okay. Here what we are doing from LangChain, init a chat module, and we are going to use GPT-4o mini. Okay. So this has the proper model setup as well. Now you need to just store the result. I will just say result is equal to model dot invoke. Okay, you need to invoke the model and just say hi and just print result. Okay, so like let's see. Now if I just say Python 3 OpenAI LangChain.py, so it should be able to give me the same result. Okay, so these are two ways of building it. So see here, you are getting a lot of information in content. You are getting this, right? So just say result dot content. Okay, so if you do this and run, you will be able to access this. See how hello, how can I assist you today? So now the difference is that here, whenever you are using different LLM providers, you need not to change the whole program. Just change these two lines, the import and the model, and everything works out of the box. See the model and the provider. If you change this, then everything works out of the box. So this is one of the advantage, but apart from this, there is a lot of enterprise use case or large scale use case. So that is why just to have that heads up, I'm just teaching you LangChain as well. But yeah, so with OpenAI SDK also, you can get the task done. Again, everything is under 10 lines of code. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you in this lecture, where we get the OpenAI keys, start with OpenAI SDK and with LangChain. So I hope you got to know how easy it is to get started, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Give a like to this video and subscribe to the channel, and share this video to as many people as possible, so everyone gets starts with their AI development. That's it, and I will catch you up with the next one. Thank you.